Welcome everybody. It's Friday afternoon. I've got the day off. Feeling pretty lazy, but it's the day after the new set was released on Magic Online, and some of us have been kind of excited about the new edition of Skyclave Apparition. Any of you guys who have been following me in the last week or two have seen me playing Fiend Hunter, getting ready for Skyclave. Apparition, the double white is a mana cost that we haven't had in the deck yet. Any of our sort of double mana casting costs have either been in our core blue-green colors, like green-green for Witness, blue-blue for Force of Negation, or just a mix of the two, green-blue. Even if you get into white with the double casting, it's like white-blue for Soulherder, Deputy, Teferi, and then we've had Venser with double blue, but never before have we really dealt with double white. So it's just, it's something that we have to prepare for and adjust a little bit for. So I had been running, prior to testing with Fiend Hunter recently, I had been running for a couple months 4-color Soulherder with black for Siege Rhino and Hostage Taker, and I love both of those cards. I think that they're super fun and amazing top decks. So excellent sort of top of the curve sorts of cards. Siege Rhino can win through a board stall, just repeatedly lightning helixing the opponent, and Hostage Taker. If you draw it in the later part of the game, it's almost always going to be a 3-for-1. You draw it, you play it, you take away the opponent's creature, and then you cast their creature. So really good. But once you get the deck having sort of double white, double blue, double green, in my view, it gets a little bit too greedy to play 4 colors. Hey DV, welcome to the stream. Welcome to everybody else. So now that we've got all these intensive mana costs, costs. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired. Not too tired though. I think going back to Bant just makes a lot of sense. As to the exact composition of the mana base, I may need to make adjustments as I go along. I played exactly 1 match last night in a queue with Skyclave in the deck. I got paired against Ponza, and I pretty much wrecked them. They tried to get me with Blood Moon, which made me feel like, maybe I wasn't going to be able to cast Skyap because I only have the 1 basic planes in the deck, but I was still able to get there with like Soulherders, Blinking Snakes, and just growing really big. Game 2, they had double Blood Moon, but Neo form let me turn a snake into a Deputy, which took away both of their Blood Moons, and then it opened up all my mana. I played Skyap, targeting their Klothys, which you guys know Klothys is typically pretty difficult to deal with. If it's not a creature, we can't hit it with Path to Exile. So, but Skyclave hits anything that's 4 CMC or less, that's not ours, and that's not a land or a token, which is a lot of stuff. Pretty much anything that opponent controls, unless it's more than 4 CMC. So pretty nice first run with Skyap. It was able to hit a Klothys, and yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Kale, hey, crushing all. I guess that's the plan. So basically what I did here was I had only been running 1 Fiend Hunter, and I got the feeling that I should probably start with 2 Skyclaves. It's a very, very powerful, very flexible card. If we get 1 out and an opponent like paths it or something, we're often going to want to have access to a second copy. In that sense, it's pretty similar to Soulherder. So you don't really want it in your opening hand necessarily, though honestly I think Skyclave's probably better in the opening hand than Soulherder. It's a card that feels like it's probably good at 2. So obviously I was able to trim the Fiend Hunter, but to make space for the second one, I'm currently trying to trim the Thragtusk that I had at the 5-drop slot. We have a closer in Uro, and often the deck doesn't really need a closer. Once we get some kind of lock with Stonehorn, or just bouncing opponents' lands with Venser. We can just chip in for damage in the air, whether with Muldrifter or with Ice Fang. I still have the single Teferi in the main. I think it's strong in a lot of matchups, and also makes Ephemerate a lot better. So the only other change that I made was I replaced the third Ashiok with a single Collector Oof. So the thought being that I'm pretty sure if I jump into a league where we're going to see some Goblin Charbelcher, the dual-sided lands allow them to have the lands that their deck needs for Charbelcher, but also, I guess, prevents them from just drawing dead. Like, if they draw a dual-face land, they can play it as a creature or play it as a removal spell. Not exactly even sure which dual-phase lands they're playing. I imagine a lot of them. So I have a single Collector Oof here, and a nice line is, play Noble Hierarch on turn 1 and just Neoform the Hierarch into Collector Oof. That could hopefully be good enough to just win the game. Of course, we have the Chord of Calling also, and then Pithing Needles are just more specific versions of Collector Oof for that matchup. We just name Goblin Charbelcher, and it should be pretty good. Hoodrat, that's not random at all. That's exactly what I'm talking about right now. It's it's like day 1 since the set was released, so a little hard to say if it's tier 1, but some people are really hyped on it. It's hard to say whether it's going to be like a flash in the pan or whether it's going to be format crushing like Hogak or something like that. Hey Cactus, normal hour. Yeah, this is not so normal for Friday, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, I should be working, but it's just a random day off. My season, my teaching season is sort of different now that the quarantine stuff is still going on. So I've managed to sort of load my schedule into just a few days during the week. So for now, Friday is a day off. All right, so, the sideboard pretty much the same. We've got that 1 Collector Oof. I might actually want to go for 2 Collector Oofs just because, again, we're probably going to see a lot of Belcher, but we do have the Pithing Needles, which have always been great. So yeah, you can even play Pithing Needle on turn 1. I think I'll just run it just as is. 2 Skyclaves, 1 Collector Oof. Pretty much normal stuff. Hey, Paintball Demon. Thanks for joining me, guys. It is the non-typical Friday afternoon Soulherder stream with Merfolk Joe. Actually, Worship won me a game against Ponza yesterday. I had it. They had like a crazy aggressive start. They had like Bloodbraid cascading into Goblin Rabblemaster. They had another Bloodbraid cascading into Clothis, which already had enough devotion. I just had 2 snakes and a Hierarch and a Worship, and it was just like they just conceded because they tried to bolt an Oracle and I ephemerated it. And I mean, with a board exactly like what they had, even if they had in the deck, I mean, based on the type of deck that they were playing with Goblin Rabble-Masters, it's almost certain that they didn't have like Anger of the Gods or Sweltering Suns. So, but even if they did have those, it would hurt them more than me because I'll still have like Worship on the board and they would lose all their creatures. So anyhow, I've been enjoying Skyclave for the limited amounts of time I've been playing with it so far. Well, you can go study. I'm not keeping you from studying. Okie dokie. We are just gonna jump into, I don't know, the deep end and see if we get paired immediately against Goblin Charbelcher. We're not totally overloaded on hate against Belcher yet. Look at this guy's out with an early lead. 3 trophies. I've played a bunch against this guy, Punt Thin Wine. I think they play control decks, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of an annoying or obnoxious screen name. Well, this is lovely. Sky App off the top for the win. I think this person is also like a crazy grinder. So by crazy, I mean very active. Well, they have the Luris avatar, but no. Oh, so this is like we're starting off playing against some kind of crazy amulet deck. It could be Mono Blue Tron. I'd actually rather face Amulet. I hate playing against Mono Blue Tron with this deck. So I think we're going to go basic, basic, and then get Canopy Vista. So just basic, Hierarch. Amulet, bounce land. Oh, just a castle. Maybe for Karuland. Karuland has been achieved. All right. So next turn they can make, I guess, 4 mana. Drawn lands. So we could go like Uro, Ephemerate, and then flash in the Coatl to catch the rebound. I think that seems like a fine line. Gain a bunch of life, play a bunch of lands. So next turn we'll have 6 mana. Seems pretty good. I love how hard Amulet players F6. They're just like, I absolutely don't care about what you're doing on your turn. I could not care less about what you're doing on your turn. Are they going to play another castle and just play a Titan right now? Oh, it's Karn. They're getting an artifact. Okay, well that would have been good a turn earlier. Still pretty good now, I guess. So I could play 2 snakes, or I could just play Teferi and attack Karn. Yeah, I don't know. I guess like attacking Karn seems good, because then next turn takes up to 3. I mean, getting down 2 snakes mean I could swing for 3 next turn, but then he's going to be at 4. Also, I think just I could play Teferi, bounce Amulet, see what I draw. Got blue, blue, green, green, white, white. Mana seeming pretty good so far. I'll just go get another basic forest here. We've got force if they're going for like Summoner's Pact. Actually, we could force the Amulet on the recast. That's kind of nice. Okay, Ephemerate's pretty good. This is gonna make, it's just gonna try to get rid of my lands, right? So he's plussing on my lands, but we've got lands for days, so I'm not really that scared of this. I could also just force it when he casts this. I think I'm going to attack Karn because if they minus again, I'd prefer for him to just die. Okay, so they're probably going to start with Amulet, so we probably want to think if we want to counter that. I feel like Amulet's just more important than Liquid Metal Coating. I can afford to lose 2 lands. And I will pitch the Oracle here. Hey, Grim Ducky. Welcome to the stream. So we know the opponent has that Castle Garenbrig. Looks like they're probably going for the coding here. Oh, they have another amulet. So they still have 2 mana, so they'll be able to get both of them out, I guess. But double amulet is actually really strong, so still worth it countering that first one, I think. This is a strangely grindy game against Titan. We do have the 2 Ashioks to bring in. It's usually super duper good in the matchup. Just going for Explore. Interesting. All right. Well, I guess they have another land, and then they can still play, if they have another Karu land, they can still play their liquid metal coating. Could just be getting greedy here. Okay, well, they have another Karu land. So we can expect to see a Titan next turn and probably lose. So they returned the Growth Chamber to their hand. Here's the coding. We can only hit Karn for 2 next turn. Karn's going up to 3 now. Unless they minus it, which would be very strange. They're minusing it. Interesting. We do have an Uro in the yard. The best play might just be to crack. Oh, they have the Tormod's Crypt. That's absurd. All right, well, whatever. At least we're slowing them down a little bit. We got rid of their Karn. That's what Uro does here. He forces the opponent to trade their Karn for Uro in the graveyard, which I wasn't even thinking about, so sort of whatever. Are they going to let me cast Uro? They're gonna... Let's tick up to Ferry. Go get another basic island. Opponent has to crack Tormod's Crypt in response to this. There it is. Okay, basic island. Let's play a snake out, see if we can draw something good. Venser, I guess, would be the best. Land, probably the worst. At this point, they're going to cast a Titan, and the best that we can sort of hope for is ephemerating in response and drawing a Venser, something like that. I also could ephemerate on my main phase. They've even just like if I draw a Deputy or something and get Amulet off the battlefield, they already have mana on board to cast a Titan. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about like what draws right now actually do anything for me. Like Eternal Witness doesn't do anything. I mean, I might as well do it now. Odds are, I mean, unless they just, if they untap, if I cast Ephemerate now, they untap, they cast Engineer Explosives for 2 and get rid of both of my snakes, then I lose the rebound. But I'd rather, I don't know. I'll just do it now, whatever. They're tapped out. Maybe I'll draw a Force and hit like a Summoner's Pact. All right, well, so got at least paid off for doing it now. That's nice. Hey, all right. Well, so yeah, that was a decent sequence. Pretty sure we're still out of this. I can climb back into it with a Neoform or a Deputy off the top to start handling the inevitable tide of zombies that's on its way. I think we could see Engineer Explosives here. I mean, there's nothing I could do about that. So, opponent's got the Karn. They tick it up, blow up my land if they want to. That's fine. But Karn will make it so I can actually activate it. So I'm just gonna cast my snake now. Like, I could float the mana, but the sequencing here isn't a huge deal. Yeah, I mean, Force was a possibility, but I just don't have any cards to pitch to it, so... Okay, you got it, opponent. If there's no Titan, I'm a happy boy for the time being. That's something we will want to get rid of soon because it makes Valakut pretty dangerous. Why not? Ancient Stirrings. For Crumbling Vestige. Okay, just a kind of a bad land. All right, let's go. I guess Sky App is pretty good here, right? Hierarch into Snake. Okay, there's a path. I don't need to cast that now. I can cast it on the opponent's upkeep. I can also go get my basic planes, hold up path, play Hierarch, and hold up Hardcast Force. Okay, now I only have to attack with one snake, because it's the same damage either way. Actually, if they blow up one of my lands, then I can't hold up Hardcast Force. We do need to path the Dryad on upkeep. Why not draw step? Good question. I guess we do want to give them the extra chance to draw basic, right? The draw step seems fine. Like Klothys requires you to do upkeep, so I've kind of been on upkeep mode, but draw step is smart, I think. All right. Actually, it didn't matter too much when we did it because they get the untapped land. Easy to forget about that. Okay, so they're getting another artifact. I guess it could be like a Walking Ballista, in which case we couldn't counter it. But if it's... Walking Ballista. God, Walking Ballista. Yeah, well, Castle Garenbrig was stupid there because they can only do it for 8. X equals 4. The extra mana didn't do anything. You got it. So now I get Eternal Witness off the top, or just another path. Deal with the Walking Ballista. That's okay. I've got infinite mana, basically. All right, well, more of that stuff. I think I'm going to... You know what? I could just, like, force all sorts of stuff. You know, why don't I start by casting Oracle? See what I draw. I could just... You know, Teferi's not really so super useful in this matchup. So I can just use it to draw a card, bounce the Ballista, force them to just kill a bunch of my stuff. It's just fine. These guys all replace themselves, so it's not the end of the world if we get mowed down. Though I can't really see the downside of starting with the Oracle here. Okay, well, we drew a Hierarch. I'm just going to bounce the Ballista. Maybe, I mean, I guess, hang on a second. Maybe it's not the best play because... Nah, Grim Ducky, I couldn't get, like, Cardboard Live doesn't show the Skyclave Apparition yet, so bouncing the Ballistas might be bad because they get to kill 3 of our things and then let the bounce resolve, then they can just recast it next turn. At the same time, I'm not really doing very much here, so I think it might be fine. You got it. This is basically just drawing a card. I mean, it might be bad to bounce the Ballista. Opponent could just ping out like and not realize that bouncing it is actually good for them. Let's see. All right, they let. Oh, and I drew a land, so that wasn't that great. All right. I do not have force unless I crack this for blue. But they're just gonna cast the Ballista again next turn. Ducky, the list is super similar to what I've been doing. Minus Fiend Hunter, minus Fiend Hunter plus, minus Fiend Hunter minus Thragtusk plus 2 Skyclave Apparitions. Minus, oh, they can't blow up my lands anymore, so that's sort of nice, I guess. The thing about this situation is that like a Hierarch just lets us start rebuilding immediately. Like this Ballista is just a 10 mana board wipe basically. Although if they get to untap with it, it's pretty dirty because they can just keep pumping mana into it. I'm falling pretty far behind on time. Chord is cool. If I could chord for like Oof right now, that would be the best. Actually, just chording for Eternal Witness seems fine. So chording for Deputy deals permanently with the Ballista, just gets rid of it. But I could also just chord for... If I chord for Hierarch, I can't get back the chord. I mean, I can get back the chord, but they're going to kill a bunch of our stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chord, get Eternal Witness, target the chord. In response, they kill 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the Witness plus 3 of these. I still have 4 things untapped. It doesn't seem that awesome. So maybe just chording for Deputy is the best here. They can kill the Deputy. Actually, no, if they kill the Deputy in response with 3, the Walking Ballista will never leave the battlefield. Oh, I'll go get Skyclave Apparition. That's amazing. I'll get Skyclave Apparition. Yeah, that's a line. Just waiting. I think that makes sense. But the thing is, they can pump again in response. To me, use the creatures, cord for witness, get witness, target cord. And then I've still got mana up. I will get the cord back. But I guess that is a better way to use the mana. That doesn't leave up force. I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we've got that. Yeah, it doesn't leave up force. I have to play faster though. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 activation, 2 activations. Oof is in the sideboard. Just passing the turn, I think. It's a pretty bad spot. It's particularly bad since I've fallen 6 minutes behind on the clock. It's getting close to sort of unwinnable territory, just how slowly I've been playing. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards that actually. Like, I just kind of want to deal with this walking ballista. I think the witness line is a little bit unnecessary. I mean, letting them untap with Ballista is bad, but it's already bad. Like, I'm not sure that them paying 4 more mana to kill 1 more snake is the end of the world. But I basically need to win this game pretty quickly. Be nice if they left Skyclave. Yeah, but I think they're getting rid of it. But we still have 3... We still have 3 witnesses in the deck. We have Neoform. We have Venser. Okay, so now it's time for Titan, I guess. Why not? Still have Deputy. Still have 3 paths. Still have another Skyclave app. Yeah, but they weren't going to be able to kill all of our snakes if we let them untap anyway, I don't think. Titan players do play slowly, so there's a chance I can sort of claw my way back into the game. Looks like they're giving him haste. It's just, pretty close to being dead here. We get to bring in 2 Ashioks. I guess Oof is fine, right? They do have Karn with liquid metal coatings and maybe engineered explosives and walking ballista. I guess Pithing Needle is okay since they're on Karn. Are they getting a second Walking Ballista? I mean, they could just get a Summoner's Pact, but I'm just going to force it, so not going for it now makes sense since I guess they can't really cast very much. Path is sort of okay, I guess, but we're still sort of dying to zombies. Actually, just pathing this thing now is fine since they have the amulet down. So just like not waste any time thinking about it. They're going to get an... Actually, no, that was stupid. Summoning Sickness on the zombies. It's still not lethal, but it was bad timing. I remembered that amulets on the board, they're going to get an untapped land, but now they have a non-summoning 6 zombies, so... Slight misstep. I'm getting a little bit spooked by my clock. I mean, Deputy against 5 zombies, pretty much the same as Deputy against 4 zombies. Another Summoner's Pact. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. I'm just going to scoop this one. A little bit rough. Got to win 2 games in 10 minutes. So now it's just play fast or bust, basically. Which is typically not the battle plan against Amulet. We not usually just being super aggressive. Pithing Needles are fine. Oof is fine. Winds is fine. Worship is okay. I don't love forces in the matchup. I trim 2 of them. I mean, they're okay, but this is, I don't know. We just have to like resolve an Uro and path whatever they play and try to win. Like Cord and Neoform seem important to be able to access Skyclave. So I guess, yeah, that was game 1. That was game 1. Opponent took a lot of time too, but I took longer. Muldrifter out. I think if they get to zombies, we might just be out of it, but whatever. I'll keep wins in. Maybe just trim all the forces. Just try to go a little aggro. They do have access to Tormod's Crypt through Karn. We might have Pithing Needle for Karn. Venser is a way to like a particular way to like end a game quickly, so that's not coming out. I like the value of Soulherder, so I'm taking Teferi's bad-ish. We want all of our dorks. Ramping to Ashiok is the best way to win the game, I think. So, I don't know. Trim 1 Eternal Witness. We're in a very weird place. I played way too slowly that game. So, a couple lands: Noble Hierarch, Venser, Ashiok, Uro. Fetch lands in particular. All right, I gotta keep it. It's slightly slow, but we are on the play. Man, Hierarch would have been amazing this game because then I could Sky App on the Amulet. Land, please, land, Oracle, please. I could cast Venser next turn, although my fetch is I don't know, a little bit weird. I need to hit a blue land specifically. All right, that does it. Looks like they're going to get out way ahead, probably with Asusa or Dryad. I can start bouncing lands if I feel like that's good. This Canopy Vista is a little bit awkward. Maybe I should have just fetched a basic there. I don't know. I needed more blue. So I could play Temple Garden, Sky App, Dryad, and play Hierarch just to keep ramping, and then hopefully draw into a Ephemerate, and then I can just control the board with Venser. Doesn't really matter if they have bounce lands or not. They can just play out regular old lands, right? Like even if they just have forests and stuff, they can continue ramping with Dryad. But if I kill the amulet, then the bounce land is not coming in untapped, and they'll have so that could be big. They could also just have another amulet, but if they had it, they would play it last turn. If I kill a Dryad, they can't play Titan next turn, I'm pretty sure. But I have to play fast anyway, so... I'm going to hit the Dryad. For me, it's more important. If we get Ephemerate, we can get other things. Multiple land drops every turn is just nasty. Maybe the opponent will dismember in response to the trigger. All right, well, you know, Skyclave doing a good job so far. If they have I'm actually not going to attack here just because they could have a dismember and then get a 3/3 to block with. They're F6, so I'm attacking. As I said, we have to be a little bit aggro. Oh my god. So let's see. Nice. Love it. Not even... I will wait for a spell that they cast. I've got Venser plus Ephemerate. That's fine. Actually, it might not be fine. Maybe I just want to Venser it. They can recast it. I could just Venser it again. I don't know. I don't know if this is the right line. I'm playing a little bit. They're probably just going to explore again. Maybe I let this one resolve and bounce a land on the end step. Dismember would be yucky here. Not quite at lethal yet. Soon though. Well, showing that you can win a game against Titan in 5 minutes. I don't know why I didn't attack with Coiling Oracle. Alright, so they're getting a 3-3. We can bounce to 3-3 and they just die. They died anyway, I guess. No real need to do that. Just don't lose any of my creatures this way. All right. Let's run it back. Give me a second, guys. All right, so here's the plan. I was doing some strategizing. The opponent's going to mulligan to 4 with just 4 lands. They're only going to draw lands for the whole game. And we'll just attack with snakes. Worship is such a slow card. Like, I'm not trying to not lose here. I'm trying to win. So let's get that Eternal Witness in. Let's get a couple forces in here. We're on the draw. Maybe even all the forces. Just hit the amulet to make them play badly, like really slow. We can take Stonehorn out because again, like if he gets to the point where he's got zombies and titans, then GG opponent, right? Cord. I mean, recording for I guess Skyap, so I can leave the cord in. Uro stays in. These guys let's stay in. Maybe we can go with 3 forces. Winds can come out. And maybe even, well, trim 1 path, whatever. It's not a normal plan, but we've got 5 minutes. Let's go. Land, Hierarch. 2 lands, Hierarch, Ashiok. Force, Snake, Snake. Something like that. This is a keep. I should have mulliganed because I'm going for, I don't have a blue spell. That's so annoying. I saw the force. All right, well, we're drawing lands now. I should have mulliganed to Ashiok. It was too fast of a keep. Oh well, we'll have to see how we draw. Come on, let's go. Not the best. That was a poor keep. Now we need to sort of hope to top deck Ashiok like right now. I'm just super F6 for the time being, guys. If they play something that I want to path, I will. All right, so we still can't play anything. Drawing terribly. But at least now we can force if need be. Slightly disappointing. Should have mulliganed. I have cards that do very well in the matchup. They just have the Titan in hand right now. Maybe they'll Summoner's Pact now before it? Nope, doesn't look like it. I can get back a path. I don't know what that's going to really do for me. Gonna start getting their zombies now. I think they get a field and maybe need to get one other land, so they're getting 2 zombies here. So Deputy with Ephemerate is great. We've got Eternal Witness to loop the Ephemerate, can help us stay in the game. So Deputy off the top, running Snake into, oh, they're going to, wow, okay, so 4, yeah, they're getting 4 zombies. So Deputy off the top, I think, pretty much, or bust. Hey, deck. But I think they can get another Titan. And we don't have extra white to Ephemerate right away. You guys saw that top deck, right? We need more white mana, I think, but because we need to blink the Deputy. We can take some beats from. Well, no, it's gonna get a lot of zombies. Gonna get a lot of zombies. So we also need to get rid of the Primeval Titan. So things not looking great. He gets to attack right now. Doing the best I can, guys. Deputy, a huge help, but I'm taking 8 from the Primeval Titan right now. We didn't have blue spells to pitch for the Force. Opponent's almost equalizing on time here. I shouldn't have messed up so much on time in game 1. We'll chalk that one up to it being, I don't know, Friday and me being a little bit tired and hazy. Valakut, not particularly relevant right now, but I think they have a Teleria West in hand. Man, the lack of Neoform is interesting. I could Neoform this guy into, I can Ephemerate it and then Neoform it into, but they're going to just cast. So I can Eternal Witness and then Neoform that. That seems pretty good. No, but then I can't. I'm going to Neoform it into no attacks, basically. Oh, maybe I should have gotten Vista back. Ah, playing too fast. Oh, I took out Stonehorn, I think. I think I just have no good 4-drops right now except Venser. Yeah, guys, this is over. We're done. I tried. I don't think we had a line there, even with Path off the top, right? I mean, because I guess Plains off the top, you go Ephemerate, and then I didn't have Path in hand, so Ephemerate, I guess. Anyhow, guys, that was just my bad. We didn't lose necessarily because we don't line up. Well, it's a terrible matchup. It's very difficult, but I probably should have mulliganed. And I just wasted like 8 minutes in the first round, so I don't feel too bad about it. All right. Plus, I mean, Skyclave Apparition was pretty nice, right? Pretty awesome. And that's really what this testing is all about right now. Man, I feel sorry to have disappointed the deputy. Like, the deputy was right there, ready to get on the front lines, but kind of messed up my lands, I think. Didn't have enough white mana. This is a very nice Soulherder hand. For playing against Neoform, we've got that covered. For playing against Charbelcher, we should have it covered. I think they're maining 4 copies of Veil, though. Turn 2 Snake plus Ephemerate is nice. Could also just hold up Force, but that seems unlikely. Opponent mulligan to 6. And they kept their 6. So I think just Forest Hierarch is fine. Freaking Karn. I mean, Tron. Not countering that. Decent draw. Just play this. Okay, and no rush on the Ephemerate, I don't think. Just pass the turn. If they cast something like a map, I guess we might want to force it. Yeah, at this point, definitely. I think we're gonna counter Sylvan Scrying here if that's what happens. Yeah, gotta do it. Opponent probably just has Natural Tron in hand though, because that's how they roll. I'm still playing like I'm in a rush. Path is like not that important in the matchup. Venser? Soulherder? Soulherder's okay. I think we don't want to draw more lands, so I'll play my crack these things just to thin the deck a little bit. Get some basics. Why not? I'm not going to attack just because we might draw into a force. So we're kind of flooding, but at the same time, like the deck is not completely messing us up. All right, well, if we can live one more turn, we should be able. Oh my god, guys, I was just kidding that they were going to have Natural Tron. Not salty at all. Not salty at all. We got this covered. Deck, stop that. So we're holding up Ephemerate for force. Let the opponent play into it rather than doing it now. Path is fine. Whatever. Couldn't be an Ugin. Oh, it could be an Ugin. There we go. I can dig it. We do have that covered. Unfortunately, this Karn is just going to be a nuisance for the rest of the game. I love how this guy just plays into this. Like, it was on the board. You knew what I had in hand. You knew it was in my graveyard. So Venser still probably the best draw. All right, opponent, you get to run it back. See if it works this time. A change of plans. Change of plans. Actually, I think I could just hardcast that thing. So, but then I can't leave up. I just gotta hope that I draw into a blue card. Because, well, let's see. If I go Muldrifter Ephemerate right now, I could just draw another force between the 4 cards that I would draw with Muldrifter. Alternatively, I can hardcast this thing, hope to draw a blue spell in the two cards that I draw, and then still hold up Ephemerate plus force. I think the force is just too important, so, well, but I mean, like, the odds of not drawing a blue card in the top 4 cards seems so unlikely. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Evoke style. Blue card. Oh my god. The deck is just really... Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. That was poor. Let me think what I want to do here now. I can just neoform into like Deputy and hope that they don't have another payoff. A Sky App doesn't hit Karn, which is unfortunate, but Deputy does. I could also Venser here. Neoforming for Venser doesn't really do it. I'm kind of afraid of another Ugin. I don't think they run like 4 Ugins. So, might as well play one of these lands. I mean, the problem with... So we should have a rebound coming. So that's good for us. We just have to hope that we don't get completely wrecked on the opponent's turn. I mean, even Eternal Witness gets back force, but I don't have the mana. So, Deputy. All right, guys. Another Ugin off the top. Just play a Wormcoil Engine, please. Please, Wormcoil Engine. we've got our we've got our lands established now. We've got a rebound coming with the Ephemerate. We've got a force in the graveyard. Okay, 3 mana left. What's happening here? Maybe hitting my graveyard with like a... Oh, well, Ensnaring Bridge is totally fine. We do have Sky App for that. They've got 3 cards in hand too, which is pretty bad. Means that Karn is gonna bite the dust. All right, guys. I'm sort of turning the corner here a little bit. I'm running 2 so far, and it seems kind of incredible so far. And I mean, we all kind of knew it was going to be incredible. It's just sort of ridiculously versatile. Doesn't really matter what I attack with, but this guy is, I don't know, more of a target, so... Good job on the Ensnaring Bridge. Now, what kind of cool stuff can I do at this point? I can Ephemerate, get back Neoform. Neoform for Venser. Start bouncing lands. I think I'm just going to start with Coiling Oracle, but I should probably crack a land first. Starting to fall behind on time again, but it's not that bad right now in this matchup. Okay, another redraw. 1 at instant speed. So I think I might as well play that out. If they go for something like Ugin, we can always get the force back. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I don't think that Ephemerating now is the best play. And I don't have anything against, for example, just like Walking Ballista. So I could Skyclave right now with Neoform, but I don't really see the rush there. Yeah, that sounds good, Peter Storm. Oblivion Stone, I'm going to say nay to that. Or try to. If they have removal in response, like, I would feel pretty dumb. But removal would just go after Deputy anyway, so... We're attacking for 6 next turn. All right, I mean, continuing to have fingers crossed. This is playing against Tron. It's a very nasty deck. Okay, oof. All right, guys, let's get there. Nice, 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 nice. I love it. I want to continue thinning the deck, so I'm just going to keep playing and fetching. Don't think we need all this mana, though. Should have done some calculations, but I'm pretty sure that we don't. So I'm just going to get it and play it tapped. Get back 4 straight away. So now we'll go to attacks. We've got Ephemerate plus force up. Again, I don't think that this Ensnaring Bridge is doing next to nothing here. Not next to nothing, literal nothing. So that gives them 10 mana, so they could go for the the big old Ulamog, but we've got Ephemerate in response to one of their targets. I mean, they're trying to figure out, like, how to run out a bait spell first or something. All right. Oh, I won the match? Did they just... Wasn't that game one? I think they just scooped the match. All right. Very cool. Winning against Tron always feels good. Pretty sure that was game one. Yeah, that was game one. All right. Give me 1 sec. On. So Peter, I don't think you can see this exact deck list because Cardboard Live doesn't have the new cards up yet, but I'll show you guys the list real quick. It's pretty much identical to the list that I've been testing Fiend Hunter with pre-Skyclave, except I had a Thragtusk and a single Fiend Hunter, but I'm a little higher on Skyclave than I even was before, and it's the kind of card where if you play one and it gets dealt with, you'd like another one in the deck to be able to draw into or be able to Neoform into. So I took out the Thragtusk and obviously the Fiend Hunter, and so I've got 2 Skyclaves. So if you want to be able to reference this while I'm playing, you can screenshot it right now. One other small change was trimming the 3rd Ashiok for 1 Collector Oof. Charbelcher is supposed to be very popular right now with the new double face land cards, and being able to Neoform a Hierarch on turn 2 to go get a Collector Oof seems good. I've also got Pithing Needle for the matchup, so I kind of hope to get paired against Charbelcher. All right, so the first opponent, I know, like you can Google the name. I'm pretty sure they've got a bunch of results. Not necessarily like table-topping grinder status, but I've played against this person many times, and I've seen them on the board many times. Apple Pie 96, maybe not as grindy as our round 1 opponent was. So we're back to even. We win the die roll. That's excellent. And this is a keep. We've got no white mana for Skyclave or Ephemerate, but we do have the snake. We've got force. We're going to keep it. Little sketchy, but it's a 3-color deck. You are going to have some sketchy hands every now and then. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. Opponent's name is a ton of butts. So there's that. Kind of a good name. I can get behind a name like that, if you know what I mean. Well, it looks like Force might be decent in this matchup. All right, maybe it's Storm. Double white lands off the top. I'm just going to probably main the Coatl, I think. They went bottom after mulliganing to 6, which means they might have kept the 1 lander, as Storm frequently does with all of their... Oh my god. Guys. Getting punished. Skyap has been good so far. It just... so far, I think the only thing I did with it so far was get rid of a... Alright, well, there's the white land number 1. It got rid of a Dryad against Titan in round 1, which was good, but we still got ran over. I was playing super fast because I was falling behind on time. Opponent found their second land, which is nice for them. All right, excellent. We are right there now. So I can get basic white here and then go get like Canopy Vista. I don't have double blue. I would not have double blue for force. So what I think I'll probably do is play the Windswept Heath. Actually, my life total's probably not clutch in whatever matchup this is. It looks like Storm to me, but it could be a number of things. I am in a sort of non-determinate part of the bracket right now, being 1-1. So if they go for something I need to counter, I can go get a Hallowed Fountain and counter it. Yeah, and if they don't, I can just like get a tapped Hallowed Fountain. Or untapped and Ephemerate. I still have to sort of see how the opponent plays. "17 turn clock. Go." Okay, well, probably not Storm now. What are we looking at, guys? Oh my god. There has to be like some kind of like bolt or something in the deck. So going for Ephemerate just seems poor here. I'll get a tapped tapped Hallowed Fountain. Neoform. This is a deck against which I would definitely sideboard out Neoform because they're representing counterspells pretty hard. Yeah, so we're just holding up Force and Ephemerate here. We don't have Neoform plus Force, and also there's nothing really super amazing for me to Neoform for right here. All right, opponent continuing to play patiently. They're going to find that I'm also happy to continue to play patiently. In fact, if they go for removal here on the end step, I may just let it resolve. So fighting over this at this point, the worst it can be is basically a 1-for-1, because my creature's already dying. If I go for Ephemerate and they cast a Bolt, it's trading another card for another card. Problem is that the upside of Ephemerating is so strong, and Ephemerate with Skyclave might be relevant. Now this is starting to look like Death Shadow, I guess. It could just be Grixis like grindy control. Oh, you know what? I have Force. I have Fetch plus Force here, so I mean Ephemerate plus Force. So I'm gonna go for it. Otherwise, you know, like what am I doing? Getting basic planes is like significantly more okay with Skyclave in the deck. Bolt and Force, and we'll see. Maybe they've got the final piece of the puzzle in their hand, in which case it's all just a bunch of 1-for-1s. Not the end of the world. It looks like we're getting this Ephemerate. Maybe they can counter it still. Oh my god, that's awesome. And we still have Force up. And we get the rebound for the Ephemerate. Pretty sure this is Shadow, which is, you know, they're happy for me to attack them down to 13. Which means that Skyclave should be just pretty busted. Are they going to Thoughtseize me? Inquisition? It's just going to resolve if that's the case. Terminate means I won't get the rebound, but I'm sort of okay with that. Yeah, 1-for-1 city is just fine. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get it. That's fine. It can go away. Yeah, that's a good one to play this turn. I'm just going to get back the Coatl. Eventually we'll get a third basic, and it's going to be really hard for them to get past the Death Touch. I could also get a land here, but honestly, I just don't feel like I'm backed up at this point. Like, the opponent is on 3 cards. We will draw lands eventually, and Coatl is going to help us do that. Opponent is going to be shook to go for removal now. You know, like they're not going to let that happen again. Especially with white mana up, you know? I hate that the defunct exile zone just like stays here forever. Like you literally cannot get rid of this. And they just did a software update, so. All right, see, told you we were going to draw lands. So that's going to get a basic of some sort. We can just pass and hold up Coatl and Force, I guess. Opponent seems to be F6ing here. Now, if I do get a basic, then I can't hard cast both Force and Ice Fang while getting a basic. So, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be relevant. So, we'll just see what the opponent does. Continue slow rolling everything. Do you have 2 removal spells now to fight opponent? Because I will fight. I'm prepared. Nope, they're still shook. All right, so now I do not need to cast Force and get a basic. I mean, so yeah. So I'll just cast Ice Fang, draw Hierarch, get a basic, just because Death Touch is very nice. Basic. So basic. Man, look at this hand against, like, if this is in fact Shadow. Ridiculous. I would fight over removal here, just cause I can. Opponent doesn't seem like they're prepared for it, though. Man, these shadows are going to get blown out when they hit the battlefield. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here. Opponent just with 4 lands in hand? Does it still say can be played? Yeah, that is a lie. I'll attack with both of these things just because, like, if they do have removal, better to get in, like, 1 point of damage than no points of damage. Snap something is fine, I guess. Just gonna create, like, some fights, get some cards out of the opponent's hand. So Fatal Push. Did they just crack a land? Did they have Revolt? I don't know. Yeah, they did. Okay, so there's the Scalding Tarn, right? Fatal Push. I mean, it should go after the flying dude, right? Because he can trade here with Eternal Witness. Yeah, I think that's okay for now. I think this is all okay. All right, they took the damage. I can still cast some spells. Against potential counter spells, I mean, so all they could have is Stubborn Denial, I think. It's probably just some kind of Grixis. I don't even know what I'm playing against. I'm just going to pass the turn, guys, because I am pretty far ahead. Opponent can cast the Fatal Push now, and I guess I'll fight over it. Like, having a nice blink target on board is okay. Like, keeping the Ice Fang around. Oh, they're going after the Hierarch. Okay, opponent. You got it. Weird. A ton of butts. Curious play. Okay, I think another Hallowed Fountain seems good. Cord is something that we can just try to rip on their turn. And if they fight it, we can try to force or not. Brazen Borrower. So I think that, yeah, it's just some kind of Grixis control thing. So they should fight over this, and then I'll fight over that, and okay. Force right back. We've got blue, blue, green. Still leaving up Neoform. Opponent down to 1 card. They're going to lose their Borrower. We're going to get in for 1. They just scooped. I was about to Neoform. Shield seemed very much down. Skyclave not seeming super duper relevant in this matchup, so seems like I can... Well, you know what? They probably play Planeswalkers, right? Ashiok seems okay. Get rid of their graveyard, prevent them from cracking fetches profitably. They probably have like Tasigur and stuff like that, but we'll have some number of paths. I don't think I need to bring in extra removal. Veil is clearly amazing. And I mean, Pithing Needle is probably good. We didn't really see anything in that game that it would be great against. But I can't imagine that like a Grixis control deck is just not running Jaces and maybe, I don't know, Royal Scions usually wants like a big creature down, so maybe not Royal Scions, but I mean, we can wait and see what they have. We still have counter spells in the deck. I'll take out 1 Skyclave. I don't. They just didn't seem like they have a lot of permanence. So, Venser seems pretty nice. Teferi obviously amazing. They played nothing except like some removal and a Brazen Borrower, so it ended up being some kind of Grixis control deck rather than Shadow. And yeah, based on that, bringing in a couple Ashioks, couple Veils, taking out 1 Skyclave, and then 3 more cards. I like the forces. Deputy can probably come out. Stonehorn does seem meh. Thank you. I would have gotten over there. And Neoform. I don't play Neoform against counterspells. There's no reason to leave yourself open to that kind of blowout. Also, just like the Hierarchs don't seem amazing, honestly. But there's not that many other cards that... I mean, it's better for the Exalted than for the mana, I think. So we'll go ahead and submit that. Seems like it should be a favorable matchup for us. We had a bunch of dead cards. We had Stonehorn, we had double Skyclave, and we were still just poning this guy. This looks like a keep to me, guys. Opponent's keeping 7. I'm going to keep. We're sort of resistant even to... I mean, we can't play the Canopy Vista untapped on turn 2, but we got a lot of lands in the deck we can hit off the top. It's going to be a Serum Visions. Oh, Delver. It's a Delver deck. I left all 4 paths in for whatever reason. That's because I'm like a bad sideboarder. All right. So I'm going to go get basic green, basic blue, and then Canopy Vista can come in untapped. Nice. Delver. You sneaky Delver, you. No flip, no flip, no flip, no flip, no flip. Yes. Let's see if the opponent kept a 1-lander. No 1-lander. Looks like they're Bolt. Okay, very good. And then what is this? Mystical Dispute? Maybe a Fatal Push? It's whatever they're doing here is not going to prevent me from going for Oracle. If it's a counter spell, then we get to resolve Teferi next turn, which is pretty busted. Man, the lands here are so smooth this game. We can't cast Ashiok currently, but if we hit another blue at some point, of course, we'll be able to cast it. Thought Scour. All right, well, we didn't see that last time either. So Thought Scour could be for Anglers, Tassigers, could just be for Snapcaster Mage. They did not flip their Delver yet. And it doesn't seem like the kind of deck that's running tons of counter spells. They may have actually sideboarded out some of their forces, if not all of them. So the question here is whether I sort of just... I think resolving Teferi seems pretty bomber, but if they do have some counter spells, maybe it's better just to run out a Hierarch, hold up Ephemerate. Yes, I believe it. I believe they changed the ruling, and it's still 1 rather than 0. At a certain point, I think the flipped CMC was 0. So yeah, I think we'd like to continue hitting our curve. So getting Hierarch out here seems great. Actually gives me kind of a clean attack with Oracle. And then we've just got gas for the rest of the game. Opponent could have like snap push, but then I do have the Ephemerate. Plus opponent knows about this card off of the Oracle. If they were trying to drown, they probably might, well, they might have targeted me with the Thought Scour. I don't even know what's going on. I guess we have to wait and see how this goes down. Okay. Man, if they go for like Kolaghan's Command here, that would be amazing. Amazing. All right, it's just good old Snapcaster. And so I'm letting this attack go through. If they want to trade with the Oracle, that's fine. They targeted Bolt, and I'm just going to protect the Hierarch against the Bolt with Ephemerate. Once again, we're going to lose the rebound, but I think hitting our curve is pretty important. If I go for the Ephemerate now, the opponent obviously just bolts the Oracle. So it's fine. You trade with the Snapcaster. We save our mana, and we're good to go. And if they want to force this, that would be kind of awesome for us. And, you know, we've only got 3 drops in hand, so it's possible I do let it resolve just to get it in the graveyard. All right, we're doing very, very well dodging the flip here on Delver. So Plague Engineer on human is actually pretty good. Since it's going to hit Eternal Witness. But maybe they go for Druid or something. Sure, it's going to be human. Yeah. No problem, McDerp. You know, delays happen. So now, I mean, now my plays are actually not looking that amazing. This is a very different deck than we thought we were playing against. So we sort of have to see how it goes. Maybe just Teferi, bounce the Plague Engineer, make them sort of take a turn off. They do get an attack in. They get to kill Teferi if they want, but I get a redraw. I get to hit a land. Potentially. Getting Soulherder down with nothing to blink is as always a little bit sketchy. So I think just Teferi... I could do Teferi and tick up, but that risks, if they flip Delver, I get literal 0 value out of Teferi. And drawing cards is pretty important here, so let's just bounce the Plague Engineer. Opponent might think that more humans. Guys, I think this game might just be nearly over. We know that they have they're almost certainly trying to play Delve creatures since they have Thought Scour, so we can bring a Mystical Dispute. So we can bring in... we can bring in the Celestial Purges now. We can bring in even the Winds of Abandon, I think, is fine. Ashiok continues to be a fine choice. And just a Path off the top here stabilizes somewhat. Opponent has a Dispute, but it can't target... well, okay. So we got to play a non-blue spell here that doesn't just die. Like, I could play Soulherder and hold up... Ephemerate. Could also play Eternal Witness and get back something good, even though the Eternal Witness just dies. I feel like it's probably not going to be the best line. And we've got all these snakes in the deck, so I'm going to say yes. I'm going to play Soulherder. Hope the opponent doesn't... Oh, wait, they have Dispute for this. They have Dispute for this, so... Well, this is awkward. I guess I'll just let them dispute the Ashiok. All right, guys. We're taking our beats. We really need a path, in which case I can path and then play Eternal Witness and have more paths. Opponent is drawing lands. They could have another counterspell in hand. It's not what I was hoping to draw. We're not just strictly dead yet, though. Another Dispute, I think, does put us strictly dead, and I'd probably just scoop. All right, so they kind of had the nuts there, but we have a very good idea of what's going on now, and we do line up pretty well against these decks, so I'll go ahead and scoop, so we'll have plenty of time for the next round, the next game. Yeah, this was just a mystery from game one, and we did not sideboard optimally. So they do have some counter spells. All right, what are we looking at here? Worship seems fine. They've got to kill all of our creatures for that to be legit. Stonehorn seems fine. They're like a tempo deck. So Pithing Needle continues to be poor. As I said, Celestial Purge seems like gas. The counters mean we do have to keep Neoform out of the deck. It's getting pretty close here now, so I have to sideboard out some other stuff. No, I don't think so. I think it seems fine. I'm going to keep it in. But Skyclave is amazing for sure. I just have to think now about what the best cards are. It's possible that like the 66th best card is going to be like something like Worship or Stonehorn. So all right, let's keep Stonehorn out but keep Worship in for the moment. I'm going to trim on 2 forces because they do have a lot of creatures. Soulherder is a little weak, so I'll trim 1 Soulherder. Teferi's excellent. We're on the play. We got to keep our lands in. Venser seems solid. Maybe since we know they have the... And as I was saying, I think Dorks are not the best, so I'll trim 2 Dorks. I'm going to run to the bathroom. Be right back. You guys can let me know if you have any ideas. One thing we haven't seen from the opponent in this round is Graveyard Hate. So very possible that Uro could be an all-star here. I mean, we ran over the deck in game 1. It doesn't seem like it should be super terrible. We just sideboarded weirdly for game 2. All right. This is a keep. But Plague Engineer is pretty rough against his hand. All right. Not as concerned with Death Touch at the moment as I am with hitting my colors. So I'm going to get blue-white on the end step, and then, I'm sorry, green-white, and then blue. All right, well, they're holding up Dispute already, so let's see if they can hit our snake. Forces is decent. I've only got 2 of those in the deck, so you do like to see it. In this situation, you definitely go Oracle because we're hitting our land drop. Nice. All right, guys. Things looking okay. If I have to pitch something on the opponent's turn, I feel like it would probably be Ashiok in this spot, since we don't have that 3rd land yet, and Soulherder's probably a little bit more important. Okay, they hit an Angler into the yard. That's good for us. Let's keep those graveyards open here. Both of the graveyards are going to be relevant here. Okay, it looks like they have something to cast. They don't have mana for Garmag here. Young Peasy is just going to get pathed straight away. On my turn, no less. Let's... Land? Skyclave is sick, but... interesting. I'd really like to hit my land drop here. So playing a snake seems awesome, but I don't want to let the opponent get ahead on tokens. We don't have immediate access to Deputy, and we don't have Neoform in the deck. So, oh, Deputy's just out of the deck. So I think we need to play this one very, what's the word? By the book, I guess. Yeah, let's just path this thing now. Gives the opponent lands, but we get to get a little attack in of our own. We get to hold up force. If there's a land on top of the deck, we would have hit it right now with a snake, but better just to get rid of that engine. All right, I mean, we're already whiffing on lands a little bit. But opponent, let's see, spinning their wheels a little bit. Serum Visions, I'll let you know what they do with the Scry. Skyclave is crazy removal against anything 4 CMC or less, so it gets rid of planeswalkers like Karn or Teferi or Jace, which we typically have a hard time dealing with, as well as obviously getting rid of a lot of different types of creatures. There's synergy with Ephemerate, because if you cast it, target something, Ephemerate with that on the stack, then they'll never get an XX token for the first target, because it uses this old templating. Sorry, opponent went top-bottom there with their Scry. I'm just going to try to play a second snake here. And this time, playing Ice Fang is better because I have not hit my land drop yet. But opponent knows I don't have lands, so a little bit of a wash. Idea is if I play... Oh, they're just going to counter this. That's fine. Oh, well, I mean, Remand is a little bit obnoxious. But at the same time, remember, they're not really doing anything. And we will hit our lands eventually. Make no mistake. I'm behind on time, but I can just... Alright, so what's going on here? They play an Angler. Land off the top, please. One time. Now... Oh, we can't hit this with Skyclave, right? But we can continue playing snakes, holding up Ephemerate now. So I guess I'll just get basic Forest now. Now I'm running 2 currently, 2 Skyclaves. Basic Forest, I mean, seems greedy because we want blue-blue, we want white-white, so maybe I need to get, Yeah, maybe I actually need to get a Hallowed Fountain untapped here. Kind of weird timing, though, with it. I mean, my sequencing here is a little bit wonky. Well, we got a Hierarch, that's some mana, and I can go for the Ghost block on the opponent's turn, and if they have removal, I can fight it by pitching a card to force. It's fine. Don't need 2 of those right now. I don't want to fight on my turn because I don't have force on my turn. Opponent has plenty of cards to fight, but we need to sort of get something happening here. So Ephemerate. They go for Bolt. I go for Counterspell. Or for Force, I guess I should say. Pitch the Ashiok. If they remand it, I have another pitch. Drown is trying to counter this. So how is this working here? Yeah, I mean, we're getting a little bit wrecked here. So they're countering that, and well, they're bolting this, so it's going to lose it anyway. I don't think it's the worst. We're tapping them down pretty far. We should be able to play some stuff out next turn. Not taking any damage yet. Mana's still pretty weird. Purge is nice. I think I just have to go for that right now. Spell Snare would be a beating. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, whatever. We're still not just dead. Just play this, take our beats next turn. Force of Negation. I was gonna hold, I might still hold this guy for the opponent's turn, but might as well run out the snake since I have double snakes right now. Can't, again, Skyclave doesn't hit Gurmag. It's one of the few things in Modern that it doesn't actually hit. It's not just that they run Force. They might be being a little bit sarcastic. It's that they had the Bolt, the Lock, the Drown, the Lock, and the Force. So a little bit unfortunate for us. Now they know I have a Chord in hand, which is good information for them. And we're still just sort of in chump block territory. Might as well play this now, see what I draw. They could follow up with Plague Engineer, which would just get me pretty hard. This thing doesn't have Death Touch, not even close. But the opponent has used a bunch of their gas already. They could have like a Snapcaster, would be pretty nasty. Like Snapcaster for Drown would actually be pretty sweet for them. Not a lot to think about here. It seems pretty simple. If you've got the Snapcaster, you go get the Drown. They have a Spell Snare. Holy moly. Sweet baby Jesus. I have not run into Charbelcher yet. Bolt, and then for the grand finale, do they have the Double Strike? They do not. I feel like this is a deck that's not running the Double Strike. Just give me another path, another something. I have to sacrifice a creature. All right. Weird. Weird opponent. Muldrifter doesn't do it, so we're just going to hope they don't have more removal. And Skyclave is a little bit pointless here. So, I don't know. Let's see. If they have... Seems like they have removal. That's 1-1 right now. Unfortunate to lose to this deck, but this has honestly been a pretty nutty game for them. I got a little bit backed up on mana. I missed my second land, I think, a couple turns. I think I can't target that, right? So, yeah, it's not gonna work. So another lightning bolt and GG. Oh, they're just, what are they doing? Fetching to the sick Rubbins? I don't, why do you even have to crack your fetch? Super unnecessary. But they're playing fast, so I can't complain. All right, guys, I can't beat this. Like, infinite counterspells and removal, free 5/5s, Snapcaster to get back whatever they want. All right, so back into the losers bracket, 1 and 2. A rare situation when Skyclave is not good. I can't remember the last time I've seen a Gurmag Angler. Grixis Control doesn't exist. Grixis Shadow does, but I happen to get paired against a deck that doesn't exist. I mean, it exists as much as Soulherder does, let's say that. But you don't see me running into the Soulherder mirror all day. So, no Charbelcher yet. We beat Tron because the opponent scooped in game 1. They scooped the whole match. And we lost to Titan. So this should have been a very good matchup, but we had no idea what they were doing in game 2. So we basically gave them a free game 2. So that could potentially be attributed to good play on their part in game 1. To sort of realize they were in a bad position, potentially sandbag what they were doing, like not play Delvers, not play Plague Engineers, that kind of thing. But they literally had Spell Pierce, like, not Spell Pierce, Spell Snare for my 2-drop. And that's just, it's a little bit absurd. All right, so currently 1 and 2. Let's see if we can get back into the land of the living. Now, it's a really beautiful opening hand, except for the basic planes. I think it's the kind of hand that I might need to keep anyway, because we're looking out for Charbelcher, and Force kind of gets them. Also just wins against Neobrand, that kind of stuff. We've got the turn 2 play if we draw the land. And even if we just draw green, we've got Eternal Witness. Might not be useful since we don't have any fetches. Neil, Skyclave hit a Dryad earlier. So I'm gonna keep this. It's got the double white for Skyclave. This is the kind of hand, honestly, like, I feel like I've kept this kind of hand where you could easily flood and it would be amazing. And I feel like 97% of the time when I keep these hands, I get massively screwed. Like no lands for 10 turns or something like that. So Skyclave hit the Clothis yesterday. It hit a Dryad today. I mean, look, it's clearly amazing in Modern. So, all right, there we go. Right on time. So we go get blue-green, and we should be pretty good. Particularly if... we ramp with Oracle. Nice. So this Force is sort of dead. Opponent they could play any number of things. Kind of would be nice if they played like a freebooter, because, as I said, Force is pretty dead. Okay, all these 1-drops seem just fine by me. Ephemerate would be the best draw off the top for us, because then we can Ephemerate Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of both of their creatures. So, speaking of Skyclave, yeah, it's about to look pretty nice. Death Touch, usually pretty relevant. So we've got double green. Maybe I might as well get double blue online with a basic island and then sort of start building towards... No. I think getting another duel and having our mana open is probably more important here, because triple white for Skyclave plus Ephemerate is definitely, like, hands down the best thing we can do. So I'll just go get blue-white. Okay, well, we didn't get the Ephemerate, but I still think we're doing okay. They're also pretty much tapped out. I could also just go Soulherder now and get some value. But Skyclave here seems just fine. Gonna hit the bigger one. Opponent's super F6'd. So this is a free attack since I'm not blocking this thing. Probably should have attacked first. If they somehow magically have paths in the main deck, which I don't think is possible, this is kind of a blowout, but play against the deck, you know. So tapped Hallowed Fountain, doing really well on the mana. We've got blinks on Skyclave if we play Soulherder. Another snake would be very good to use 5 mana next turn. Opponent's taken damage from their lands. Are they going to reflect the Skyclave? That would be spicy. That would be really spicy. Oh my god. Unwise, I think I should say. Spicy, maybe not the most descriptive. Path off the top. FTW. Ugh. All these lands. All these lands. Well, it's obviously a Soulherder turn here, and so maybe we can draw a snake, particularly, or a path. Or land. So awkward. Kind of feel like just trading with this champ here, but at the same time I don't. I mean, Skyclave is just gonna keep making these illusions, right? So nah, Soulherder, I want it to grow a little bigger. I can take some damage for now. Another Reflector Mage would be kind of nasty. What do you got, opponent? We need something, like not 1,000 lands. It's always all right. So it looks like they might have another Reflector Mage or maybe a Deputy. Okay, all right. Staying calm. I think opponent accidentally clicked into their combat step because they should have played this before combat. This is just flooding like this is ridiculous. We are getting close to Death Touch if we draw snakes, so I might as well get more basics at this point. A Witness would be good if there was more than lands to get out of the graveyard. So I think the play here is Skyclave on the champ, Soulherder, Blink Oracle or whatever, and just do some do some weird blocking, I guess. Or, you know, I can, no, I can just blink the Skyclave with Soulherder, get rid of a Reflector Mage. Yeah, I think that's probably the play. Just start handling their creatures. Oh, I can't play Soulherder here, right? Yeah, I can't play Soulherder here. So, man, I can't play Soulherder. It's just so nasty. I can play Skyclave. Definitely playing Skyclave. Getting rid of their biggest creature, which also happens to have the lowest CMC. I mean, we're not dead here. Not dead by a long shot. I feel like I want to just commit mana here to Witness anyway. Makes Ephemerates better, in theory. Okay. Yeah, blocking with Coiling Oracle is really easy here, actually, because we've got Witness and Soulherder blinks and all that stuff. So, you know, but the opponent's got a lot of mana to work with. They got 4 cards in hand. Reflector Mages always do such an amazing job against creature-based decks. This looks like a flyer. All right, well, you know, things are drawing to a head here. So we can blink this thing and get rid of the Mantis Rider on our turn. So I think it's just... I could actually double block with Oracle and Witness, get rid of one of their creatures, and then start just like buy stuff back with Eternal Witness, hopefully draw like Path or something else that's pretty good. So rather than just chump one of these, I feel like just double blocking, actually getting rid of one seems better. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. We'll have 8 mana next turn. 2 Skyclaves. So the play is like Eternal Witness, get back the snake, play Soulherder, use all my mana, get rid of the flyer, and hopefully not die. Because I don't have that many blockers, so... We're going to go down to 1 after our fetch, but 1 is pretty much the same as 2 anyway, so... Oh, okay, alright. So that changes the plan slightly. I would really rather not blink the Skyclave and give them more attackers at what's going to be 1 life. So... now, I just want to Path, Eternal Witness, get back Path, cast Soulherder. Path... Eternal Witness, get back Path, Path, cast Soulherder. But if I Path now, crack the fetch, play Witness, play Herder, still have Path up, they're not going to have 2 1/1 creatures. Why would they have 2 1/1 creatures? I'm just pathing the Mantis Rider. Now, hang on a sec. Yeah, I could also just give them the 1/1. Give them the 1/1, blink Skyclave. Get rid of the Mantis Rider, hold up path. I think that seems fine, but... So, path, Eternal Witness, get back path, cast Soulherder, blink Skyclave, get rid of their Reflector Mage. They'll have two small creatures. I'll have a 2/2. They'll have haste, but I'll have path in hand. Yeah, I'm gonna crack this now. Green. Don't really have to... I guess I do have to path now, because I want to get it back with Eternal Witness. Sequencing. Soulherder plus Path to Exile. Very nice. Faust. Heads up play. As always. And I think I can attack here. Now the thing is, if I blink Skyclave, I give them the 1/1, but we get rid of their 2/3. If I feel like we have them covered anyway with a 3/3 against their 2/3. So no rush on attacks here. I mean, might as well, right? Nah, because I'm not going to blink that thing. I'm just going to pass. I need to start rebuilding value, so I'm going to get back Eternal Witness. All right. Do they have double Mantis Rider plus land? Oh, they're going to Phantasmal Image it. Hold on, but I can totally just Mantis. I can path the Mantis Rider. But then they're going to Phantasmal Image something else. But I don't think we're dead to that. So definitely pathing right now. Oof. All right. We are going to get something Reflector Maged. So we're going to have some like an unfortunate block against Reflector Mage here. They could also just copy something of mine if they wanted to. All right, bouncing the Herder. We can just chump with Witness. So if they go like this, I think double attack, double block is fine because we get anything back with Witness anyway, right? Oh, but I can't double block. Okay, so, oh, okay. So now I can double block. Or I can just single block, leave the creature on the battlefield. Yeah, that's probably better. I don't want to give them more creatures if it's not necessary. Chumps are okay for the time being. Tapped a little weird there. I was a little bit hasty. Soul. I can't play Soulherder, so definitely just going to play out the Witness, getting back the path. Should have been able to get my Hierarch onto the battlefield, which is pretty major as far as missteps go. Didn't need to tap my 3 forests like that. Really wanted to get that Noble Hierarch down. Ugh, silly. Just like the tiniest little rushing moment, like, and you get a little bit stuck. I knew I needed 4 green and then basically 1 white for path. Oh man, opponent is going to now play their freebooter, take away path, and then play their 3rd Mantis Rider. Is that what's happening? Oh my god, no. This guy is gonna General Kudrow exiles cards from graveyards, and it can destroy big creatures. Their humans get +1/+1, which is pretty nasty. So right now, this guy's just going to exile something from my yard, right? Which is sort of fine. At the same time, huh? No, I couldn't. It wasn't wrong because I couldn't play Soulherder. It had been Reflector Maged. So now I think I can. Now I can play Soulherder. I'm going to double block. Double block this one. Path Kudrow. No double block because I can't block once, kill this one, and then get back path next turn. Oh, but he's gonna play a human after this and get rid of path, which is a little bit rough. All right, they must have another human in hand. Otherwise, they would have been cracking their clearings. So I'm going to lose the path. Maybe it's just a flyer now? Oh yeah, well, it's going to get rid of the path. They're taking my Force of Negation. Definitely the most relevant card in the matchup. How does... I can't... What? I don't... Alright, whatever. Let's just see what I can do here, guys. Probably not much at this point. Yeah, I think it's just GG. We can well, I can play out my creatures, get rid of their flyer with Skyclave, but they're going to have 5 attackers, and we'll only have 4 blockers. So pretty sure we're just dead here. No, they'll have 4 attackers. No, yeah, they'll have 4 attackers, I think. Terrible blocks here. This is, I think it's like basically quadruple chumping. Oh man, why am I losing game 1 to humans? And I'm like super far behind on time again. Thalia's lieutenant. Doesn't even matter really because I was chumping everything. Well, now I guess I'm not trading with Kudrow. I'm just chump blocking Kudrow. All right, whatever. The guy had good cards. I guess I'm learning how to play Skyclave. I don't think there was an end step where I misplayed with Skyclave. Like, I definitely blinked something that was super relevant, and blinking Skyclave at that point would have given them a creature and wouldn't have furthered what I was doing. Anyhow, I gotta run to the bathroom. Oh no, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Somebody should have said something a little bit earlier. I said a whole lot of stuff actually that wasn't heard. I forgot to unmute my microphone. Apologies about that. I was saying that the play where I blinked Eternal Witness to get back a Snake versus getting rid of a Reflector Mage. So here I'm holding up Snake and Veil. I'm just going to focus on the current game. And they must have a 2-drop to Violin. Almost certainly Thalia's Lieutenant. So it doesn't look like Veil is going to get us any value this turn. It's a bit of a bummer. Path is pretty good. I think I'm just going to Path now. I guess white mana is sort of okay. Get all of our colors. I could Path the Thalia. I think pathing the Thalia seems fine. And then just Death Touch the Death Touch this guy. You know what? Hang on a second. They could play Meddling Mage, naming Path, which I'm not really feeling, so they're probably just vialing in a Lieutenant now to buff their creatures, but it doesn't really matter because their creatures are getting dealt with. Now they're thinking about which 2-drop to put in, maybe another Thalia, maybe the Lieutenant. As I said, another Thalia, just fine. So now we might be in the market for neoforming Eternal Witness into a Stonehorn, just to get that thing on the battlefield. We're not really close to dying though, so maybe just going Uro. Hitting a land would be nice, but if we go Uro hit a land, it doesn't even help us that much. We can't cast. Well, we could cast Veil. I mean, Uro seems good here. I'm gonna go Uro. Can't spend too much time thinking. No. All right. So we don't have anything up here now, except like a chump block to potentially get us closer to Uro. No multiples on the battlefield, so Deputy not that incredible. I mean, basically we need like Soulherder off the top, then we neoform into Deputy. Sorry, neoform into Stonehorn, and then just play Soulherder. Opponent's bringing the heat though. I can't really chump block with the Eternal Witness here. I wouldn't want to, I don't think. So opponent's just dumping their hand, which is good as far as information goes, but bad as far as blocks go. So taking 9, go down to 12. Things looking pretty grim. We get to at least blank their next attack, but we're paying 3 to neoform. This is not going the way that I want it to go, guys. Opponent's got pretty good stuff over there. We neoform for for Stonehorn, and then hope for Ephemerate or Soulherder, or I think I took the cord out. I mean, we could always just top deck Worship, but I don't have 5 mana to actually play Worship, so not the best. Not the best. We do have mana to escape Uro now, though. I mean, not mana, but resources in the graveyard, as well as mana. Actually, we don't have mana because of the stupid basic planes. This is why I don't want to run more than 1 basic planes, even though we've got the Sky app in the deck. Opponent just cycled a land. They could totally draw into a 3-drop and Violet in, but it looks like they did not. I mean, I could also like Deputy Thalia and then hold up Veil, but the opponent is just beating me on board right now. So, if I draw a land, I'm I guess okay. They cracked one of their. So many redraws in Humans. Ephemerate costs 2 to cast, but we have 2 to pay. It's Meddling Mage, naming Ephemerate, naming Soulherder, naming Path, naming Uro. A lot of possibilities. They named Icefang Coatl. They don't even know that I have an Icefang Coatl. They want me to not be able to redraw, which is smart enough, but now I can path the Meddling Mage, play Icefang, but then I still only have 2 blockers up. I still don't just die, I think, because could play actually Deputy. Deputy costs 3 and I've only got 1 mana after that. All right, gotta play if I have any intention of trying to win. So, path the Deputy, don't need to do it right now. I might as well do it right now, I think. Path the Deputy, flash in Coatl, but I'm paying 2 to do it, and then 2 here. I've got 2 blockers. This guy can go in front of Thalia. The Death Toucher will go in front of that. Then they've got not too much damage on board. So, yeah, just doing it now. Because if I get to draw a land off of the Icefang, obviously I would like to play my land. It's a very, very savvy call by the opponent there. All right, well, deck just not giving us any lands this game. We're 17 cards deep into the deck. Opponent with another redraw. Redraws for days. Lot of amazing things that they could draw into in this spot. Opponent had double Thalia. Is this another paying 3? Paying 3, which means that they have another 3-drop in hand. Oh, this is frustrating. He took the Icefang. Okay, all right. So we're still semi in this. I think I want to block and kill the Thalia and then take 11. But the opponent has another 3-drop in hand, so it probably means we're just dead. Deck. Oh. All right. Let's start by drawing a card. Ephemerate. Don't give me Soulherder right now. Don't you do it. Oh, just give me a fetch. Why not? So they've got 4 creatures with any kind of power. I can't play my last creature with any kind of power. I can't play my lands without dying. They haven't played any blue or black spells, so I can't draw anything. And I can't win another game in under 5 minutes anyway, so whatever. Let's make the opponent, you know, fight for it a little bit. I can't purge anything currently that matters because it's all green and white somehow, not a single red or black creature. All right, well, they were just bluffing that vial, I guess. I mean, maybe they go for like Reflector Mage and then I can purge it or veil it, I mean. Get a redraw, but I don't think I even get there that way because I have to tap this to make green mana right now. And they still haven't cast a blue spell or a black spell. Oh. I mean, you know what? It's possible I should have just cast Uro last turn. Yeah, I probably should have just cast Uro last turn. I think I had the lands to make it happen. The opponent's playing like I have a path here. Okay, come on, don't get in, don't get in, don't get in, don't get in. Don't get in. Keep him back. Keep him back. Come on, opponent. This is wild. Wow. I mean, I'm dead to clock anyway, but whatever. I don't know what the right thing is to do, guys, but I have to play fast. Deputy, just to do it. Get back my Ice Fang. Draw that thing, which I can't cast. But I do have protection against their 3-drops. If they get like a Reflector Mage. Oh, it's just a big flyer. Okay, I can purge that. Let's see how they attack. Probably attack with a bunch of their stuff. So, let's see. Block. Block. Purge. If I can win a game, I'll be semi-happy, I guess. But I don't have mana for Skyclave Apparition. I do have mana to get back a Path to Exile. That's what I'll do. Could also just cast... I still can't cast Uro. I don't have the mana because I just lost my Noble Hierarch. Okay, I also don't have Veil up right now, which could be pretty dirty if they do draw into like a Reflector Mage right now. Just playing for fun now, guys. I've already lost the match. 2 cards in the opponent's hand. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff. Like basic forest off the top, or island lets me cast Uro, which gets me away from one life. Path is something, but not that amazing. This actually opens up my mana a tiny bit, and I guess I should probably get an attack in. It's kind of embarrassing being so far behind on time. If you guys have watched my stream a bunch before, I talk about it all the time. So who is this thing going to target? It's going to target Eternal Witness or something. Whatever. I'm just going to let it resolve. It's not even targeting. It's just copying. It's going to target the Deputy, get rid of something, but I can, in response to this, just path this, and it's not really going to go anywhere. Or, you know what, I'm just going to Veil it, actually, right? Veil is the best option here. I mean, Path sort of gets the job done, but Veil gets me the redraw. They actually cast it, too, which is nice. Whirling Oracle, that's not going to work. Skyclave just kills this, which is nice. We're still dead to any flyer off the top. I drew the Ice Fang off of the Oracle. So I could have played it. And honestly, it's fine if I lose to, like, Mantis Rider off the top. I mean, this is how the matchup can definitely go, where this guy's obviously drawing pretty poorly down the stretch. But, you know, we were stuck on mana for, like, quite a long time. Still aren't doing amazing with the mana situation, but just couldn't get there in game 1. Got another Veil here now. Opponent in the tank. Because they have no attacks, I guess. I could stop them from it. I will probably, I was thinking of it, blinking the Rhino now. But yes, blinking Rhino is a reasonable thing to do to prevent them from... All right, so they're going to do something with blue creatures, and I'm going to Veil again, and they're just going to feel pretty bad about the whole thing. So what is this guy doing now? Oh, he's going to try to kill something that's big, or he's getting rid of Uro. That's fine. But I'm just going to, actually, it's targeting me. No, it's targeting a card from an opponent. Okay, so you got it. Wait, let's get rid of this guy. Okay, we grow the Soulherder. And I think I'm just F6 now. Yep. Okay, I said okay. I mean, yes, I'm almost running out of time, but at the same moment, they're only 3.5 minutes behind me, or ahead of me, I guess I should say. So if I played reasonably, I wouldn't be in this spot, but I played unreasonably. Opponent is drawing pretty badly, and it's all pretty comical since none of this matters. All right. So look, this is Cactus. I'm sorry if you're excited about this, but this is game 2. It's not game 3. Like, if it was game 3, then I would be like, oh, like I might win this, yes. But no, it's just purely for a tiny bit of pride of winning a single game. So I'm sorry you had any glimmer of hope that this was actually consequential. So I'm actually just going to well, I don't know, whatever. I'll play, but it's 58 seconds. You'll see how fast I can play, I guess. We're gonna keep the same situation. I could bring in Pithing Needle if I thought one more second about it, like just as a way to, like, they'll keep a 1-lander with Ether Vial and I can just shut the game down. But even just submitting the deck takes like 8 seconds off the clock. Like, you'll see, I'm not gonna have 58 seconds like I should. I'm gonna have like 40 something because this is all just time spent with the program, like, thinking. So 45 seconds. We have to mulligan, and we'll keep, and we'll put that on the bottom, and we'll say done. Oh yeah. Opponent should just F6 nonstop. Oh man, just misclicking on my what? Okay, come on, let's go. Just seeing how many turns I can get in, you know, on 45 seconds. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cactus. I feel like a dummy. Like, I've got some new cards in the deck, so I'm playing a little slower than I probably should. Okay, they named Path to Exile. Good for them. Now, there's literally no way to win this. It's just, you know, I got to turn 3 with 45 seconds. Like, I was just taking way too much time that I didn't have. Unnecessary. But I'm learning a little bit, so. Now I could just start, like, casting Eternal Witness for Path. You know, if I played, like, somebody who's played the deck before. Now they name Snake, I'm sure, right? Yeah. 5 seconds on the clock. Humans is a fine matchup. It's actually a good matchup, I'd say. All right. Good games, thank you, saying to the opponent, and we'll just lose to the clock. Take it like a champ. So sorry about that, guys. This is the first time I've lost to the clock in a long time. I would have lost to the clock earlier today, but I think I actually just lost to Titan or something. So I'm deep in the loser's bracket at this point, not because of Skyclave. Skyclave feels awesome. Not really convinced we need 2 of them necessarily, but I'll keep playing with 2 until I feel like it's just excessive. I'm going to play the next round, if you just want to bear with me for a second. All right, so one more round. Playing to claw back that 50 play points. Let's see, welcome to the stream, Keto Glutarato, unfamiliar face. Happy to have you joining us. Not doing very well this afternoon, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, the clock should not be a problem, so I'm just going to I'm gonna sort of play faster from the get-go in this last round. It might take a little while to get paired because I have such a bad record. But while we wait, we can go and sort of glance at the setup. Since Cardboard Live doesn't have the new cards from Zendikar Rising yet, so I couldn't put the current list over there. Yeah, I mean, basically just play faster is what I should do differently. The deck has felt fine for weeks and months. Just the most recent change is these 2 Skyclaves. We haven't seen any Charbelcher, despite there being a lot of conversation about it. Maybe the Charbelchers are all just like 5-0ing and they can't be bothered with this loser's bracket stuff. Opponent's mulliganing, and we're going to mulligan as well. Looks like a Tron player. I'm pretty sure this guy's a Tron player. It's not the best hand against Tron. We'd like to see a Venser and maybe some ramp. Well, it's a nice Soulherder hand. We'll put one of the fetches on the bottom. They're beginning with 6. So we get to play Tron twice in one league. I'm sure we're getting turn 3 Troned. Opponent kept on 6. Okay, Chromatic Star. That's not a Tron land, but you know they have it in hand already. Maybe not. Are you guys having any lag with the stream today? Seems like my system is running a little bit slower than it usually does, but that happens sometimes when you leave Magic Online going for a while, and typically the stream should have very little, if any, lag. So force off the top would be pretty decent. Just cracking it now. And obviously, Skyclave not at its best against gigantic mono decks, and that's all that we faced today. You know, we played against Tron twice, we played against Titan once. We're flooding a little bit. So I guess we can kind of see past the turn and see what they're working with. Might as well play the basic planes here, go like Coatl Ephemerate. If they play something like Ugin or Karn or something that needs to get countered, I mean, we'd have to Ephemerate the Coiling Oracle, hope to draw the Force, and pitch the Coatl. And just a big walking ballista. Let's see. Well, it looks like it might be a Worm Coil, which is like far and away the best thing that could happen here. No, it's a walking ballista. They chose particularly not to put extra counters on it, which is interesting. This could have gone for 4, but they're leaving up that. I think they know I have an Ephemerate, so possibly leaving up Spatial Contortion. But whatever. Well, yeah, I apologize about the buffering. I think it typically doesn't happen, but I'll try to remember to restart my system in the future before I start a stream. I do sometimes. So I am expecting Dismember or Spatial Contortion. Not sure why the opponent didn't take up that Walking Ballista to 4. Other than to hold up removal, because the opponent knew I had an Ephemerate. Okay, Force is a good card. Blue spell is very handy. So I think I kind of just want to go like Forest, Eternal Witness, Get Back Path. Actually, yeah, Get Back whatever. Hold up Force, hold up Ephemerate. I have this like password manager that could be taking up some resources, but I can't imagine that's taking up too much. I think I'll take the Oracle for now. Not super concerned about their creatures, and we do have the Ephemerate to go get Path if necessary. Question is whether I counter this or not. I think I do, because I can always Ephemerate and counter again if I need to. Oh, it's buffering constantly? Oh, that's terrible. Usually it has no lag. Oh, man. So bummed about that. I'm sorry. Did the opponent... All right, Cactus, thanks very much for joining me. Sleep well. Did they play a land at this turn? I don't think they have. So I don't know, guys. I'm just going to counter this. I mean, maybe they need a tower to cast Ulamog or something like that. If they have the removal, this is pretty dirty, pretty nasty. But they don't. So these are some very expensive forces, but you got to do what you got to do. If it is lagging for people, I'll say sorry one more time. They play a forest out of their hand and don't have any follow-up here, so let's go ahead and just get back the Ephemerate, see what we draw for the turn. Skyclave is sort of okay, but not that great. I guess it's good against a Karn. Okay, that'll resolve. All in all, pretty gross pairings today. Titan Shift, Double Tron. Thragtusk. Doesn't even get hit by Skyclave. But it does get hit by Path. Skyclave doesn't hit tokens either. Well, this could be going worse. It's not the worst against Tron. Seems like they're just top decking here now. They've got a beast, but we've got Force and Path in the graveyard, so we've got our 22 turn clock. Okay. I mean, getting Skyclave down is sort of fine. It's also sort of pointless. Yeah, I mean, getting Skyclave down, I think, wouldn't have let us hold up Force. Any of you guys hanging in there with me? Sticking it out to the end against Tron here. I'm slightly behind on time, and I'll try to play a little faster, for sure. I'd love to get ahead on time. Can we get, like, something off the top other than a land? Ephemerate is something. I'll take it. Just going to hold up double Ephemerate for now. Pretty sure the opponent doesn't have a lot of removal in the deck. Like, a Walking Ballista off the top is kind of our worst nightmare. They found a Blast Zone, which is kind of bad, but also not that terrible. We're already a little bit diversified on our CMCs, so I'll go ahead and block here. Just we have so many clicks, you know, it takes so long to do everything. Just use this opportunity to get the Force of Negation back in hand. It's something that we do want in the matchup, so better than just drawing another card off the top of the deck with Ice Fang. So Venser would be really nice here to be able to continually bounce the Blast Zone. But really, we're only losing one creature to Blast Zone, and it looks like it's probably going to be Eternal Witness. Another Ice Fang is nice. Probably save that. just to make it more likely that the opponent goes after the Eternal Witness, and then I'll have 2 snakes, a bunch of ephemerates. We'll draw 10,000 cards. Okay. I think that's sort of fine to just force. Doubling the clock here. Okay. I mean, I'll just ephemerate a snake. Seems fine. And then we'll just force the opponent to crack. Oh, they have removal. Oh, they're just. Well, that's weird. Okay. Interesting timing. Doesn't matter too much either way. Oh my god, like, these Skyclaves, so not great against Tron. Fortunately, the clock stays the same since we've got the Hierarch that's just going to buff the Coatl. Not that we really want Hierarch above other cards. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to play Soulherder and hold up Force. Hold up Force / Ephemerate, I guess. Another Force. Pulse of Marasa. Return, gain 6 life. If I counter that now, I can't counter whatever they top deck. You're gonna gain 6 life though, so I can ephemerate, try to draw something, but Blast Zone is whatever. You can have it. You gain your life. Got bigger fish to fry. Land, not really what I was hoping for. Now, does the opponent go after the Soulherder, or do they go after the 2 Ice Fangs? Be interesting to see. Okay, it looks like they're going after the Soulherder. So using Pulse of Marasa and Blast Zone as kind of a pretty janky removal spell. We could draw Venser, actually. Let me not super F6 here. All right, we did not draw Venser. Another Thragtusk? Multiple main deck Thragtusks. Do want to thin the deck. So Skyclave obviously not at their best in this matchup. I haven't seen this much Tron in a long time. Okay, all right. decent. I know how these games are going to end. They're just going to top deck like 10 planeswalkers in a row. That's fine. Not countering Expedition map. Can go get another Blast Zone, an Urza's Tower. Okay. So. Might as well path it, I guess. Got 2 paths in hand. I'll keep the other path in hand. So even though I'm clicking like 100,000 times more than the opponent, still only like a minute behind. Possible I should get down one of these Skyclaves. Probably not going to really hit anything. So just time to just like play some bodies, I guess. When I asked if anybody was here with me, nobody answered, which I guess means no. All by my lonesome. Opponent draws land. I'm going to give them some more land, although I think they're probably out of basics at this point. A path this just so we can get in for some clean attacks. All right, so now top decks are a big deal. We're ahead 1 since we've got the Force, so they can draw an Ugin, they can draw whatever they want. We've got like a 4-turn clock as things stand, I believe. That should make it a 3-turn clock. I think I'm probably in the market for a main deck Icefang Coatl. Okay, just more beats. Bring the beats. Those 1/4 beats. I mean, we get punished by like Ulamog because we spent that path. Opponent going Sylvan Scrying. Can't imagine they have too many sick lands to get here. Another Urza's Tower. So we've got infinite mana. They can just dome me with a Walking Ballista off the top. This is still game 1. And I continue to draw lands. All right, 2-turn clock. Let's go. Draw a Karn, draw an Ugin. Just don't draw. Yeah, Oblivion Stone is not going to resolve. All right, so we got game 1 against Tron. Opponent thinking. Maintaining the 1-minute distance between us, but they have scooped at this point, and we'll go to game 2. I'm glad you're here still, Cal. Otherwise, I start to get lonely and depressed. So on the draw against Tron, I guess we definitely bring in Collector Oof. Definitely bring in 2 Pithing Needles and Ceremonious, and I'm pretty sure that's it. I mean, Ashiok prevents them from searching, but we're on the draw, and it's like crazy slow. But it does help against Tron. So we can take the Sky Apps out. 2 main deck Thragtusks. That's pretty interesting. I guess it's like against the Prowess meta. I mean, like, Teferi is not that amazing. Take Teferi out. Stonehorn, pretty bad. And we'll just run it like this, I guess. See how it goes. Honestly, like, I'm tiny bit fried. Not super stoked on the way this league has been going, but Skyclave has felt great. Humans, it's possible I had a little misstep that Faust has pointed out. I guess there's a long delay today, guys, because my system is running very slowly for some reason. I see that we're skipping frames. It's giving me that here. I left in all 4 paths, which is somewhat dubious. They're mulliganing to 6. We've got ramp. Did I bring in the Ashiok in the end? Kind of forget already. I didn't. I'm gonna keep this. I don't know. Whatever. It's cards. It's cards. It's got Pithing Needle. If they play a turn 1 map, I'm going to turn 1 Pithing Needle. You can't name their stars and whatnot because those are mana abilities. Yeah, can't name that with Pithing Needle. All right, so we'll have Force at least for their Tron turn, which is nice. I am 1-3 up a game against Tron. They just found an Urza's Mine. And an Expedition map. All right, well, so I'm going to play Pithing Needle. Hopefully draw a blue card. All right, that's a blue card. I'll count it. We'll probably go get a tapped fetch. Renaming Expedition map. Little ballsy, but they did mulligan to 6. They could just have Tron in hand. I'm going to get my beats in here. Up a game against Tron. A little bit below on time, behind them on time. All right, no Tron yet. No turn 3 Oblivion Stone, please. Sylvan Scrying, I'm going to force that. I hate forcing like their searching effects rather than forcing their actual payoffs. But if I draw, I can draw like an Eternal Witness, get back that force. What a draw. What a draw. Now all we need is an Eternal Witness and we could be in the clear. Drew the Singleton. It happens sometimes. Blast Zone getting rid of all my permanents. I kind of want to draw land, so I'm not going to crack this yet. Wow, drew a land. Oh my god, Blast Zone. Whatever. I still have the counterspell in hand. Not cracking Blast Zone. Interesting decision, particularly with the mana up. I don't think this opponent is, I don't know, paying attention here. So I can go get blue and then green-white. Mana is totally sorted. And despite being totally sorted, the deck seems to want to give me more and more of it. The opponent doesn't want to waste his Blast Zone, and you have to respect it. All right, so we're losing our 2 permanents. Oh, nope, we're getting wilted. Okay, all right, crack the Expedition map, get your Tron online, and I've got like Walking Ballista covered. I've got stuff covered. All right. 9 mana. What do you got, opponent? Starting off with the Karn. Classic. Classic Tron. Now we really, really need an Eternal Witness off the top. Yeah. I guess I have to pay full price for this. Maybe I should tap the Witness. Maybe not. Ephemerate? Those are cards. Those are cards. You get Venser, start bouncing their stuff. Eternal Witness gets back Ceremonious. We need to fade 1 turn. 1 turn. No Ugins, please. Oblivion Stone, kind of annoying. But not the end of the world, I don't think. They have a follow-up? Oh, Sylvan Scrying. Honestly, I might just want to path my Hierarch to open up my mana. It makes my Chord more robust next turn. Like, what am I doing with... So they got a power plant. Oh, just cracking right now. Interesting. So yeah, I think I do want to path the Hierarch, right? We got blue, 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 green, green. I guess it's a forest that I'm getting here. Forest also allows me to cast Chord of Calling. A land off the top would allow me to Chord for Eternal Witness and get back Ceremonious. If the opponent has nothing to do on their next turn, then I can Chord and just get Chord back. Interesting. So now I think we just have to play our cards. Okay, so this has me with, like, I can still Chord for 3 if I just pass right now. Chording for 3 gets me like Deputy, Eternal Witness, obviously, but not Venser. I think I have to try to pull ahead with Soulherder. Oh wait, what am I tapping all this mana for? Let me undo that. Yeah, there we go. Pass the turn, and I don't even know what I want to draw here, guys. Oh, what's happening? They have removal? That's interesting. All right, well, they've got the Warping Whale. And now we'll see if they have good cards. 1 card in hand, top deck coming. I've got a path if it's a creature that they top deck. More lands. Chromatic Star, well, that's a redraw. They're on 0 now. And the clock is closer than it's been all match. They drew an Expedition map. Maybe they get another mine just to have super redundant. Yeah, that's smart. I can dig it. But then now they are on 0 cards. We do have Force in hand. Not Force, but we do now have Force. So we can just go and get back. I can get back Pithing Needle and just name Blast Zone, but kind of like just getting back Ceremonious. So sort of past the turn, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 7 lands, 8 if we count this thing. Got to tap 6 for this, 1 for Ceremonious. I'd love to be able to. Anyhow, I think I'm just passing the turn here. I'd love to be able to just Chord for Witness and get back Chord. Possible I should have attacked there. I'm not sure what I'm missing out on, but opponent's going to take this up to 2. And just passing the turn lets me hold up Force, end Chord. They drew another land, or they played another land. I think they had that already. Chromatic Star. I think that's going to be fine-ish for now. If I counter it, I don't have enough to 1, 2, 3. I don't have enough to Chord for 3 then. So we just kind of have to hope that they don't draw into a creature. Okay, they have another Chromatic Sphere that's going to resolve. Okay, another redraw. So we're just hoping for like a actually, if it's a creature, I can still Sylvan Scrying is going to resolve. They got another Urza's Tower. That's the card that's in their hand. And now I can Chord for Eternal Witness. They haven't used their Blast Zone yet. Something to be said for just getting back like Muldrifter with Eternal Witness. I could get Collector Oof, but currently they have it on 2. So I think just Witness getting back Cord is like just pretty safe. Venser doesn't really do anything. Also get back Uro, which is pretty nice, but I think I'll just stick with Eternal Witness for now. All right, the clock's getting a little bit closer. I keep drawing lands. Feels bad. Just passing here with Cord up and Force up. Opponent probably going to take their Blast Zone up, but we get to Cord again for Eternal Witness. I could Cord. No, that doesn't work. I could Cord for Venser now and bounce their Blast Zone, but that was my opportunity to do it, and I missed it. And now I can't Cord for great stuff, so I do have to wait a little while. Okay. Eternal Witness down, Karn down. We do have Cord up for whatever we want. Next turn. All right. Oh my god. Eventually I'll draw a card that's not a land. Opponents draw on lands too, but I think they have more lands than we do in the deck. That's going to resolve. I can always just Cord for Ceremonious and pretty much counter anything. Unless it's Thragtusk, but then we have Paths. Okay, opponent with one card in hand. They did not play a land that turn, so maybe they're just keeping the land in hand. Opponent doesn't like this. They don't like it one bit. All right, not many lands left in the deck. Okay, can dig that. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 1. We've got plenty. Ephemerate is a good one. Ephemerate is just direct to Eternal Witness to get back a counterspell. And we do have Venser up here, plus Ephemerate. Cycling a Wilt, fair enough. So I'm going to start by Ephemerating the Eternal Witness. Interesting. I still have Cord. Warping Whale is kind of obnoxious. It's going to resolve. Opponent with the sick top decks there. I think exactly one more Eternal Witness chilling in the graveyard, in the deck. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the rebound on the Ephemerate since it was countered by removal, and now we're just in top deck mode, and the deck gives me land, which is really, really ridiculously terrible. Okay, they drew a land too. We get another shot at it. All right, we got a couple shots at it. Oh god, Jesus. Well, it is a 2-turn clock anyway. Actually, that was pretty dumb. I shouldn't have run out that Coatl. That's a clock. That's a clock even past like an Ugin. So that's on me. I'm getting pretty loose towards the end of this league. Karn doesn't end it though. Pretty much Oblivion Stone. Opponent concedes. Slight misstep on my part, but I did manage to end it 2-3. I beat Tron both times I played against it, but we lost to Grixis Control. Actually, no, it was Grixis Delver. We lost to Grixis Delver with a pretty nutty hand. We lost to Titan, Amulet Titan, and then we lost to some other deck that I can't remember. Probably the first matchup. So I have to say I'm really loving the feel of Skyclave, but there are definitely spots where it's not the best card because, you know, we came against... Like, we lost one game to a Gurmag Angler, and that was pretty rough. So I might end up going to one Skyclave after all. I felt like I might want to try to test 2 for a little while. Clearly, it's amazing against all the 1-drops in the format. But it's not that great against all the 6 and 7 drops in the format. So otherwise, the deck just felt like the deck normally feels like. Always pleasant to beat Tron. We managed to dodge Charbelcher, although I think that's probably a pretty good matchup for us between the Collector Oofs and the Force of Negations. So I'm sorry for the lag today, guys. Apparently my internet is not cooperating, or just my system is like resources are being taken for other processes. I'm not exactly sure why it's lagging today. It's a bit of a bummer. But I really appreciate all of you joining me. If any of you are new to the stream and you like watching Soulherder or Merfolk, I'd appreciate if you gave the channel a follow. Always trying to grow the channel little by little. If you want to subscribe, that would be super awesome. And I'm just going to take a second here and check out who else is online, so I can send you guys over to another player on the Card Hoarder Network. I think I'm gonna go with Harry MTG here. I think I know Harry. I think I've seen Harry MTG before. So let's get back into our chat. And I'm gonna send you over to Harry MTG. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. I hope you guys are excited about Sky App because it is a really, really good card. I played pretty poorly with the clock today, losing to humans when I didn't really need to. And there was another match where I was low on the clock. I think it might have been Titan. But it's always important, like, for Magic Online to reiterate that message. Like, you are playing a deck with tons and tons of triggers. You need to know how to manage your clock. It doesn't help when my system is running like a little slower than usual because I felt like all of my triggers were taking like an extra half second. Yeah, I'm excited to see it more too, McDerp. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me. Love seeing you here, and yeah, excited to test some more. I'll be back on Monday with my regular Monday evening Soulherder, and then on